Hey everyone, Christine Pierce here with Get Fit with Grace. So today's topic is going to be self-love. And what I mean is unconditional love for yourself. So here goes. Do you love yourself? When people come to me with all their issues, whether it be from work, boyfriend, losing weight, whatever their issues are, I always ask them this one question. Do you love yourself? Many answer with, yes, of course. I say, unconditionally love yourself? And they always ask, what do you mean by that? Or what is unconditional love? I said, okay, so let's break it down. Unconditional love, what is it? Unconditional love is when you love without conditions being met. You don't need the person to do something for you in order for you to love them. You don't need them to be different. You don't need them to dress a certain way, speak a certain way, wear their hair a certain way in order to love them. You don't need them to make you happy. You allow them to be who they are and you still love them. That's unconditional love. Whether you like it, whether you agree with them, whether you like what they do, whether you like their choices or not, and you still love them. So in certain situations, you might be like circumstances. Do you need circumstances, not necessarily people to change, but do you need circumstances to be a certain way in order for you to feel love in the situation? Or can you just be unconditionally loving yourself, regardless of the circumstances around you? So do you love you as is? Do you need to be doing XYZ in order to approve of yourself? Can you relax without the feeling of guilt, or you should be doing something? Or let's say you missed a workout today. Do you beat yourself up when you don't do something? If you get up late, do you beat yourself up, or you just carry on through the day and say, okay, I got up a little bit later than what I was expected, but let's move on. Next. Can you skip a workout and be okay with that? Let's say you started eating healthy and today you didn't have 100% healthy choices. Let's say today you ate a cupcake. Now, can you just, okay, I ate that cupcake, so whatever, and when I eat dinner, I'm going to make sure I eat healthy, and I'm still going to choose healthy things? Or do you beat yourself up? Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, you're so stupid. Do you do those type of things? That is not self-love, unconditional self-love. Whew. Unconditional love for yourself allows you to still be a work in progress without the need to be perfect at all times. And I'm still a work in progress. I still catch myself. I just recently, it's the start of the new year, I ended up getting the flu. I ended up getting sick. I had a fever of 100.8 for 3 days in bed. And then last week I started to feel like, oh my God, I'm like a week behind in my goals and I didn't get to record my video. Well, the video had to wait. I'm recording it right now, but I was coughing. I couldn't even speak without coughing. So here I am. I'm doing the video. I caught myself. I started to beat myself up and say, oh, you shoulda, you shoulda, you shoulda. And I said, no, wait a minute. That's not self-love, Christine. Stop right there. You were sick. You took care of yourself. You will make your recording when you are able to speak without coughing. That's your goal. So here I am. So, excuse me. Can you love yourself with all the imperfections and still grow? I'm sure you've heard 1,000 times you need to love yourself first because no one else will. I know some of you may have learned that putting yourself first is selfish. You may have been taught to put others' needs before yours, and this is especially taught to us when we become parents. So I know that self-love and self-care may be hard for you. I know from my upbringing, I was shown and told that men's needs were to be put first, then the children, then the woman of the house. A lot of women I spoke with shared the same experiences, whether it was shown or verbally spoken. The underlying thing taught is to put others first. So when we learn we need to love and care for ourselves first, we need to fill up first so we can give, so we have something to give, this can sometimes cause guilty feelings to arise, especially from the women I spoke with that were moms. Have you ever experienced this? I know I have. I've experienced this many times when I was younger as a young mom, and I put myself first, whether it be working out or bettering, to taking classes to better myself and so forth. It wasn't verbally said to me, but it was kind of verbally said to my daughter in ways, and made me feel sort of ways like that I wasn't being a good mom because I wasn't putting her first. And I felt a little guilty when I was young. And the one thing I always taught my daughter was to love herself first. I even made it a mantra, and I would always ask her, what is the most important thing you can do in life? And she's like, love yourself first, Mom. Like, how many times are you going to ask me this? And I just ask her like randomly, either once a month, once a week. And I'd just be like, what's the most important thing you can do for yourself? Love myself first. So I've always been a confident person. I've always been that type of person. I had the drive in me, like if I want to do something, I will. But confidence does not equal self-love. And I really had to find that out the hard way. That took me years of figuring myself out. And I can really say, did I really love myself back then? Unconditionally? No, I didn't. I achieved everything I set forth in my life. I reached every goal, but I still didn't love myself. I was always seeking this from others and from my mom. And from what I learned over my life, if I wanted something, I must give it first. Not give it to another, but give it to myself first. After many years and a long journey for my quest of self-love and happiness, I can remember, and I'm not trying to get choked up on this one, I can remember the day and where I was when I just had this overwhelming unconditional love for myself. I was reading something. I was 40, sitting in my kitchen, and I was reading about the topic, and I just felt this shift in me, in this aha moment. And it just boom, like hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, oh my goodness, this is what I've been teaching my daughter. The whole time I've been teaching her to love herself, and now I'm finally feeling it. And I just cried and cried, and it was just so overwhelming. I didn't cry. Ooh, usually I do. Yes, it took work. It took a lot of work and self-discovery. And what I mean by work, I mean by going inward. Like, it took a lot of being still, meditating, asking those tough questions that I talked about in my New Year's video that I will share the link below so you can click on that and see what I'm talking about. But those tough questions that I want you to ask yourself. It took a lot of soul searching, and it was a journey. Definitely a long journey. And I can officially say now, like, yes, I love myself unconditionally. I can stand in front of the mirror and say, okay, even though I still might do XYZ, I love myself and I accept myself unconditionally. And that's what I want for all of you guys. I want you guys all to be able to say that to yourself, to be able to stand in front of the mirror and know your worth, know how powerful you are, and pour this love onto yourself. You know, self-love is a journey, and it requires you to really, really get to know who you are. In my previous video, I asked you this one question: who are you? Because that's the one thing, that's a one question I think that could trigger the avalanche of all of the the self-discovery. Isn't it hard, like, I'm going to ask you this, isn't it hard to love a stranger? Like, most of us find it hard. Like, you don't know the person, you don't know anything about them, so it's kind of hard to say you love a stranger, right? Well, loving you is like loving someone else. To get to know them, you must spend time with them, correct? So it's the same for you. So this is why I say, like, it took a lot of self-discovery, meaning being still, asking those tough questions, and getting to know who you are. Maybe it's just sitting in nature, watching the bees and the birds and the trees blowing in the wind. It's just being, just be. So here's some simple steps you could start. Number 1, spend time alone with just you. Even if it's 15 minutes, just 15 minutes, if that's all you can spare, cut that time out and go do 15 minutes of just whatever it is. If it's sitting still, no distractions. I'm talking no cell phones, no social media, no TV, nothing. Be still for 15 minutes. Go sit somewhere alone, whether it be at a bench for 15 minutes, at the park for 15 minutes. Go sit at the beach if you can only spare 15 minutes, but if you can spare 30, then I ask that you do 30. Quietly sit, just be, no music. So no headphones, no music, no cell phones, no social media, no TV, no distractions. And just be in silence. Number 2, Start asking those tough questions. Those tough questions I gave you in the first video. Like, who am I without my stories? And who do I want to be? And if you think a certain way, ask, why do I think this way? Is this just information that was passed to me? Do I really think this way? Are these really my organic thoughts or someone else's? Like downloads, the downloads from birth to now. And that is from environment, from when you're in the womb, you're being downloaded with information from the beings surrounding you. Excuse me. And then from childhood to now, you've been downloaded, bombarded with information, TV, radio, commercials, music, people, society, just walking down the street. Your subconscious mind takes in so much information. Your conscious mind does not. Your subconscious mind takes in information more rapidly than your conscious mind. So it's almost like you can walk down the street and you're going to be bombarded with information. It's like all downloaded into you. You are not aware of it consciously, but your subconscious is. And that's what I mean by downloads. Because you might consciously not think a certain way, but been downloaded with this information. So that's why I say ask yourself these tough questions. And then start becoming, number 3, become mindful of your self-talk. And I say this all the time. What is your self-talk? If you don't do something right, or what you deem right, or on time, or anything like that, do you say, oh my God, you're so stupid. Oh my God, you're so clumsy. Oh my God, like, do you say anything in that nature that is unloving to yourself? So be conscious of your self-talk. Catch yourself. Is it loving or is it hurtful? And let me ask you this question. Would you tell someone else they are stupid? Would you tell somebody else that they are stupid to their face? No. No, you probably won't. So then why do you tell yourself that? Just think about it. Think about your self-talk. Is it hurtful? Remember, what you attach to your I am either weakens you or strengthens you. So self-love is all about accepting yourself. And when you don't do something exactly the way you think you should have done it or expected to do it, or you woke up late, you don't beat yourself up. You don't stop putting yourself down. You just go with the flow and say, okay, I woke up late. Now let's keep it moving. Now let's say you were going to go to the gym. You woke up late and you're maybe an hour late for the gym now. Okay. Keep it moving. Go to the gym. Work out. Don't go into what you should have done, what you could have done. Be in the moment. And if you didn't achieve everything you set out to do that day, it's okay. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Just get back up again the next day. Okay? If you, like I was saying, if you woke up late. Now let's say if you started your healthy journey, it's New Year, and you started to do something healthier for you and your body and so forth. And let's say you didn't make a healthy choice today with your eating habits. Let's say you ate potato chips or a piece of cake or whatever the case may be. Don't blow the whole day and be like, oh my God, I screwed up. with this bag of potato chips, so now that's it. I'm just going to throw the diet out the window today and I'll start back again tomorrow. No, doesn't have to be that way. Doesn't have to be that extreme. It can just be like, okay, well, I ate this bag of chips right now, and next thing I eat, I'll make a healthier choice. And that's it. And you keep it moving. You eat a cupcake, or you take a bite of a cupcake. Okay, no big deal. Just be mindful and say, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to make a healthy choice for dinner. I'm not going to eat so-and-so. I'm going to eat healthier, and I'm going to make sure maybe you include a salad. It's the simple things like that. You don't make it bigger deal than what it is, and you keep it moving. Don't beat yourself up. Don't do any negative self-talk. Be kind to yourself. One of the hardest things in life is to get to know thyself. And I feel like that's one of the biggest challenges and the biggest rewards. Until next time, people, namaste. Remember, I leave you with this. Nourishing your soul, taking care, and time out for you is the most powerful thing you can do for you. Peace out, everybody. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please click the links wherever they are, wherever they show up on my screen. Click the link and subscribe, and stay tuned for my next video. And as always, I send you love. Namaste. Get fit with grace. Peace.